Good morning, everyone. This is Dave Meyer with Google, and I'm here to help you to learn how to reach customers online with Google. Thanks to John and the Sparta Area Chamber of Commerce for hosting me today, and I hope you're having a good time and some good breakfast and networking. If you do have questions, I'm going to share with you very quickly how you can ask questions during the event if you'd like. And I'm just going to switch screens over to this window for a moment so that you can see this. And let's see here. If we go in here, and if I drag this on top of my screen, you'll be able to see that on the window that you're probably looking from. And by the way, John, if you're looking at this window, you can hit the full screen button to see things. But if you guys do have questions at the end, I'm going to have a little chat window open at the bottom. And right underneath here where it says top chat, you can just scroll down and you'll be able to ask questions. So if you do have those questions, you can do that there. Otherwise, we'll just hang out here and we'll show you how to reach customers online with Google. As we move forward, I do want to just take 1 second to show you all the man behind the curtain, as it were. So good morning, everybody. I'm Dave Meyer, and I am in Minneapolis as a home base. I own a digital marketing agency in Minneapolis. I'm also a speaker for Google, and I'm a contracted speaker that travels all over the country to show folks how to grow their businesses with Google. And right now, I'm actually out of the North Woods in Minnesota at my family's lake home. So hope you guys are all doing wonderful on this fantastic Thursday morning and can't wait to get started. So here we go. All right, just switching my screen back to see on the screen here. I'm going to click hide there, and we are golden. So as we get started here, I just wanted to run through a couple of fun things with you. And most importantly, I want to show you just a demo on how Google can help you grow your business. So here's that screen. I'm just going to go here because it's so brief overview of how micro moments work online. And that's should be at least a little bit helpful as to what we're trying to get done today, because that really ties into where we're trying to go with marketing and what Google's trying to help you with today. So first at our agenda, we're going to talk about how to reach local customers with a tool called Google My Business. I'm going to show you a lot about Google My Business, but you need to know that it is completely free and it's available for you as an amazing tool to help you show up locally in those Google searches, including Google Maps, to show you how all devices by site for business search and for mobile search. And then we're going to show you how to reach customers with online advertising when you're ready to target your clients and your customers with specific messages exactly when you need them to reach them. All right, so let's get going and talk about how to reach your local customers with Google My Business. Every day, there are billions of searches on Google. Research shows that people are more concerned with the need in the moment than any particular brand. And that means that even if your business is brand new and unknown, you've got a shot at winning a searcher's business if your online presence helps them in a critical moment, one of those micro moments that we just saw in that video. Let's talk about the first thing you can do right now to help your business get found by local searches, and that's set up your Google My Business account. Large purchase in the last year, car, TV, new phone. I'm good you started by visiting a store and talking to a clerk, but many more of you probably started by reaching out online. 87% of smartphone owners actually turn to search first in a moment of need. And you probably experience this in your day-to-day life. We all just grab our phones and start searching whenever we have any random question. Many people do online search about local businesses. Studies show that 30% of all mobile searches are related to specific locations. So this is where you can really hold your own against huge competitors just by being closer by. If you did some online shopping research when you were searching last time, you may have started by reading customer reviews. You may have done some price shopping, compared shipping costs or warranties. All of that is available through Google My Business. The takeaway is that consumers often have a lot of information about products and services, before they ever contact a business or visit a store. Your online presence might be a customer's first experience with your business. Start by trying to anticipate those micro moments, whether it's kid needing an emergency haircut, trying to figure out what you're doing with that exercise equipment, or just trying to, in a few months, get the heck back out of Wisconsin. You're going to want to find the ways to connect and to generate that interest at that exact moment. As we look across the screen here, you identify the need, you do a search, your search shows up in Google search results, and then you guide people through that Google search result to a fantastic website. And I have fantastic news about websites. If you don't have a website already set up, Google My Business can also help you create a website. So here's more information about Google My Business. This is a free business listing that can show your critical business information to searchers across Google Search and Maps on all devices. If a searcher types in the name of a specific business, detailed information can appear on the side of the search results page, including photos, maps, address, phone number, hours of operation, and reviews. Once you set up Google My Business, be sure to complete the verification process, and that's usually done by requesting a postcard. That postcard is going to be mailed to your business address with a verification code. In some cases, your business information might already appear on Google, even if you haven't completed the verification. Even if that's the case, you should still verify your listing. Why? Well, once you've verified the listing, that improves the chances that it'll appear across Google on all devices. Plus, it gives the ability to edit your business information that appears on Google. That includes the ability to manage and respond to reviews, to make posts and upload videos to your Google My Business listing, and of course, to see insights about when people are visiting your site, when they're searching on Maps versus when they're searching on Google, and how they're getting to you. You'll know how many people clicked on the call button, how many clicked on the website button, or how many people searched to find you on Maps. So again, this is a Google My Business listing over in the right-hand side, and you can go to gybo.com/business to find out much more and to register and or claim your Google My Business listing. These screenshots show how a business should appear on Google for a searcher nearby. Google My Business works on all platforms and devices, and mobile is especially important. Out of the approximately trillion searches completed in 2017, over 600 billion, or about 60% of those searches, were completed on mobile devices. People on mobile frequently look for businesses nearby, adding the phrase "near me." Google shows that near me searches grew 136% year over year from 16 to 17. A Google My Business listing is a fantastic way to connect with these local searchers on the go. And again, you can go to gybo.com/business or google.com/business to get started. Once you've connected and created your listing, then you can make the most of it by including as much business information as you can, including hours of operation and special hours. Regularly adding photos of your products, storefront, interior service providers, whatever business showcases that you have to offer. And for businesses who want to show off their storefront, there is an option to add a virtual tour. This connects you to a site with information about hiring a Google trusted photographer to take a 3D tour, just like Google Maps, inside of your business. Add that to your listing. .com/business to get started. Posts is a fantastic new feature of Google My Business that allows merchants to post live updates directly on their Google Business listing. Posts allow you to communicate in new ways with potential customers, to share information, encourage reservations, promote an email newsletter, buy products, and much, much more. There's even a post type for specials now that allows you to offer a coupon to customers that are visiting. And again, that shows right up in your Google Maps and Google search results. Posts appear in your listing on that Google search and Maps, and you can create posts from the business app on Android or iOS or the web dashboard. You can also see how posts are influencing potential customers by reviewing their activity on the inside Business. My Business also allows you to chat directly with your customers who find your business listing on Google search results. For folks that serve millennial customers or younger customers, you probably know that it's considered rude to call before texting first. People just expect to be able to talk with their fingers nowadays. And so if you don't have the ability or don't choose to allow folks to message you or text you, you're missing out on a lot of interaction. One key with messages is that you can turn messages on or off at any time, say, for example, only during open office hours, and you can pass the number around to other folks. Just because you've set up messages does not mean you're taking those messages and sharing your personal cell phone information. Google My Business works over Google Voice, and Google Voice creates a new number that is interacted with via the messages tool. And so your number is always kept private, and you can instead hand that number over to specific other employees in your team. Again, the key though is that if you're offering messages inside of your Google My Business listing, you need to be ready to accept those messages, because as you know, with text messages, when someone gets a text, they expect to get a response. In order to use messaging with customers, you just sign into Google My Business and look for the messaging button on the home menu. It's on the left-hand side. And then once your business listing is verified, you also have the option to read and respond to reviews about your business published on Google. Business owners often ask me for advice about negative reviews, usually how can I remove them? Unfortunately, Google won't remove a review unless it violates content policy. That content policy includes things like if a listing or if a review is obviously false or derogatory, if it's some sort of, obscene speech, or if it violates trademark, or if it's obviously anti-competitive. So if you had two stores that were next to each other and one of them was posting false claims about the other and it was easily proved, you might have a chance of getting that review taken down. But again, for the most part, if someone is posting a review, the best that you can do is respond to that review. So you of course need to respond even when there are positive reviews on your Google My Business reviews page, and thank that person for making that amazing review. But if you do get a negative review, it actually makes you look even better if you respond to those negative reviews positively. If someone is even obviously very upset and perhaps not all there in their personal life, you can respond to them appropriately and simply say, thank you for your feedback. I would love to take this offline. Please connect with us by clicking on the website button or the messages button, or have them give you a call and then talk with them. Most times, I'd say 95% of times, people just want to be heard. And so after you've responded and connected with them, a great way to improve your search results or your Google My Business reviews is to simply ask them if they wouldn't mind updating that review. So that's a great way to keep your reviews positive. And as well, make sure that you're getting as many reviews as possible by linking to that reviews page. So if you click in Google My Business, you can go to the reviews page and just copy that URL and then either email that to your customers or make a link and put up a table tent that will share with folks how to connect with you online. And that's a great way to get more reviews. Here's an example of a business that's using Google My Business. Honest Soul Yoga in Alexandria, Virginia says, for us, it comes down to being searchable, sharing reviews that reflect who we really are, and providing clear directions to our location. Those are what bring people through the front door. So now, let's talk about the second thing you can do to market your business online, to build and optimize a business website. The goal should probably be to be found by searchers everywhere, no matter where they're searching or from what device they're using. Start by asking yourself, why are you creating a business website? What are your goals? Think of your online presence as a tool that you can use to help you achieve your specific business goals. Your business goals are probably mostly to make more money, or if you're a nonprofit, to engage More people's will depend on some examples might be build your company brand, generate additional leads, make sales, re-engage customers, attract employees, and of course, much, much more. Once you understand why you want your website, it's not just a brochure, you're going to want to connect with them and figure out how you can reach them online. Of course, your website is the foundation upon which everything else is built. You're going to have social media accounts, you're going to have Google search results, you're probably going to have an email newsletter, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But how do your customers find you online? And make sure that you put as much effort into the place that your customers find you most as possible. You need to think about who your ideal audience is. So think about your best customers, the ones who, if you could get 5 more of those customers, 50 more of those, that make a humongous difference to your business. And then try to anonymize that person into their thoughts, beliefs, their hobbies, interests, and start writing specifically for that person. That's called a marketing persona. And just Google marketing persona for all kinds of templates, including a really handy one called makemypersona.com that will allow you to just enter in the demographic information of your business, and it will automatically create a profile that you can use to start your marketing. And if you're wondering how that works in day-to-day practice, you almost want to start off by, for example, for me, I own a marketing agency in Minneapolis. So one of my personas is Marketing Mary. And when we start a blog post or a social media post, internally, we almost like to say, "Hey, Mary," and then we write that note because we're writing directly to what she's interested in most about our business. You're not writing about you. You're not posting about you. You're posting about what your customer has a need for, again, in that micro moment. And then finally, you need to think about how you're going to measure success. It's probably not additional clicks on your website, more likes on your Facebook page, or retweets on your Twitter account. It's most likely going to be calls into your business, or form fills on your website, or attendees at your next event. So think about how you can get people to sign up, to connect, and to do something physical to respond to a call to action on your website in order to get the best results. The act of search engine optimization, or SEO, is how you rank as best as possible on Google search results. Now, I could do a 3-hour session on search engine optimization. And as a matter of fact, if you want to go to busyweb.com and search for SEO, I actually have a number of SEO presentations recorded for you. But here's SEO in a nutshell. First, organization matters. It not only helps your human visitors, but it helps Google understand the content of your website. And on that content, it should be original, useful, information-rich, clear, and accurate. Think again about the keywords that your best users are going to type to find your pages at those micro moments that they identify a need to work with you. Make sure that your site actually includes those words. Always lead with your most important information. If your goal is to get people to call your business, keep your phone number top and center on your website. Bulleted lists can help your text be more readable, and by proxy, it's readable by Google as well. And while there's no rule of thumb, the more frequently you update your website, the more likely it will be to appear in search engine results. You can almost think of search engine results as a game of leapfrog, and you versus your competitors. You're always publishing new content. And the more often or the better you do with updating your content and keeping it relevant, the more likely you are to show up higher in those search results. If you're looking for a super general rule of thumb, I'd say at least weekly, you should be updating your website with some new, relevant, and optimized content. For links, especially in the navigation, use text. If it's an image, make sure to include a relevant alt tag. Alt tags are a little bit techno-geeky, but if you think of a label of an image and what happens when you hover on a PC, when you hover your mouse over an image. That's what Google does to understand how or what is inside of that image, what that content is. Because as brilliant as Google might be, it still doesn't know what images are. And especially if you've loaded an image into your website and called it img001.jpg, Google has no idea what that is. So instead, labeling it with the keywords that you want to get found for is a fantastic way to show up better in search results. Having good page titles and descriptions, ensuring that the title tags and alt attributes are descriptive, specific, and accurate, and optimizing load time can be very good as well, not just for search engines, but of course for usability. And we're going to talk about site speed in a little bit. Imagery can have a huge influence on the success of your website. Every business should have plenty of images on your website. But in general, tips, your images should be clear and focused, and they should look right in the overall website design, not too fuzzy, not too big. It's almost always better to use real photos rather than stock art, and be very careful. Don't be searching on Google for images and dropping those into your website, because you could run afoul of image copyright. And there are a lot of stock art places that literally publish all of their images online and then simply send invoices to anyone that uses their content in an unauthorized manner. Before you add an image to your site, make sure that you have the proper licenses to add those images. And that's why I always like either taking my own pictures and publishing them, or using free stock photo sites like PhotoPin to find those images. Now, about images for 1 second, there are two types of size. One is called the file size, the image usually, but there's a trade-off. It takes longer for web pages to load huge files. File sizes are also measured in bytes. 1 kilobyte is 1,000 bytes, and that's pretty small. Depending on the speed of a visitor's internet connection, it's usually not a problem to load an image that's 100 kilobytes, or about 1/10 of a megabyte. So once your website gets beyond a megabyte, that can start to slow down web pages. If you use a digital camera, even from a phone, your image size might be many megabytes. In this case, you should use software to shrink it down. The good news is there's lots of software out there where you can easily connect and shrink down those images. As a matter of fact, Google My Business's free website tool will automatically resize those images for you for maximum speed. All right, so the second image size refers to dimensions. For the web, dimensions are measured in pixels, and so you can just think of it as how wide or tall that image is. Now, if you have a very small image size image and you try to stretch it to fit a large space on your website, you'll probably notice that that image starts to get blurry. So you need to be very careful and post images that are sharp enough. And you'll need to eyeball this a little bit and just kind of guess. But in general, you should use the right image format and make sure that you're matching to keep your images as good looking as possible while still being as easy to download as possible. Now, file formats on images. There are, for if you're shooting images of people or landscapes or really any photos that you're taking in the real world, JPG or JPEGs are going to be your best option. And I've found that in general, you can compress those all the way down to about 20% before they start looking too fuzzy. GIF, which I like as GIF files, are usually reserved for graphics. Sometimes you can do animated images, and those are animated GIFs. Or PNGs can also do the same thing. So you'll want to, again, keep those as compressed as possible. And there are a lot of free image editing tools on the web if you don't have access to like a Photoshop. I like Pixelmator. You could even use the newer versions of Paint if you're in Windows, but there's all kinds of good stuff and free versions that are even web-based to help edit content. Other formats that you might run across, like EPS or PSD files, will need to be converted to a different format before they can be used on your website. All right, so let's talk about how you can edit and connect with how the world and Google sees your website. Google Search Console helps you monitor and maintain your website's presence inside of Google's organic search results. Here's a few things that you can do with Search Console. You can make sure that Google can access your site. It'll test your site to make sure that it shows up well. You could submit new content and remove content you don't want shown in search results. For example, if you have an event that's very old and that you don't want to show up for, or if you have a product or service that you've discontinued and you no longer want it to show up in Google search results, you can simply ask Google to remove it from search results. You can monitor your site for problems. Oftentimes, especially if your website has been around for a while, you may have linked to a page on some other's website that has gone away or has been removed from the web. Those are dead links, and you want to remove those dead links as much as possible, because having a healthy site and a site that doesn't include any dead links or bad links is a good signal to Google that your website is healthy. Google can tell you which websites link to your site, if your site works well on mobile devices, and a lot more. And the best news is that, of course, Google Search Console is free. You can access it at google.com/webmasters. Content marketing is all about speaking to your prospects and customers. Content can include any mix of text, images, and videos, and each business and industry has different needs when it comes to the content on their website. A realtor may use videos and images more to get more face time with their prospective clients and show that they know the area. On the other hand, an attorney might use more text, images, types of services in easy to search detail. A good mix of content will pique your visitors' interest, inform them about your company, and engage them with your products and services. Here's another tool that can help with refining your marketing messages: Google Trends. Google Trends is a free web-based tool that shows the relative popularity of different keywords searched on Google over time. The data is represented in a graph on a scale of 0 to 100, with 100 representing peak search volume. If your search term has enough data, Trends can show related news headlines, a forecast of search volume, related popular searches, and rising searches experiencing significant growth. You can use Trends to compare the popularity of different words and phrases, determine the seasonality of different searches, see where searches happen geographically. As you can see that gluten-free, vegan, and vegetarian are all being compared over the past few months, and that while gluten-free is holding its own pretty well and saw a little spike in the middle of the year, that vegan actually popped up quite a bit higher. And so, for example, if you had a pizza shop or a bakery, you might want to focus on vegan options and make sure that your website has the word vegan on it in order to show up in those searches. Social media marketing can use social networks like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, YouTube to actively engage your leads and prospects. Depending on the social channel, you'll be using different types of content, varying from text to curated article links to images and videos. It's essential to mix up your content strategy on social media to inform, entertain, engage, and promote. Remember, people on social media don't want to be sold to, but they do like to buy once they feel they know you. So you want to socialize with people and let them get to know your products, services, and your company. Take advantage of this opportunity to connect with your customers. In general, your content should be probably about 50% engaging or designed to engage. That might be funny or interesting posts, that kind of posts that people say, "Oh, cool," when you offer that in a networking situation, or just stuff that shows the story of your business. The next 30% of your content should be informative. So these are helpful tips and tricks, advice, things that you know as an expert in your field. And if you're the proprietor and your customer knows nothing about you, you are the expert in the field. And then connecting with them and helping them do more of that content. So 50% engaging, 30% informative, and finally 20% should simply tell people what to do next. That might be a link to an event that you have coming up. It might be a special promotion, and we're coming up on the holiday season already. Don't shoot me. Yes, we're coming up on that soon, and you need to start thinking about the holidays. So think about those promotional opportunities to get people in and to get people to buy. And that's what that last 20% should be for. So 50, 30, 20, engage, inform, convert. And then email marketing. Emails have clear subject lines. This is something that you can use, and it's the difference between sending an email to your customers that says September newsletter versus 3 tips you need to know to generate more leads or to do whatever that customer is looking for. Every email should have a clear subject line that is very short because you need to think about how the subject line is going to show up on a phone. And so you probably only have 7 or 8 words to grab people's attention. You also need to have a very clear call to action, a great mobile design, and content that is personalized for the people in your list. With any good email marketing tool, examples include Constant Contact, MailChimp, or HubSpot. You can reach out and connect and find specific lists of people. And you can send things just to those lists of people based on their interests. So if someone opens an email from you and that email was about a specific thing, and then they clicked on a link, that shows intent. So you can create a new list of people that are interested in that specific product or service. Of course, you want to make sure that you have correct spelling and grammar, and make sure that you are using some sort of a professional email tool, because there are regulations around email, including the CAN-SPAM Act and the GDPR rules in the European Union, that make it very thorny to just send messages out from your Outlook account, for example. And as a matter of fact, if you do send messages out from your Outlook account, if enough people click on the spam button when they receive your emails won't go through, but also on the same server as your email, your website will disappear if enough people click spam, because your ISP will block that IP address. So make sure that you're using an outside email marketing tool. Again, there's a lot of great options. In order of preference for me, I would say probably Constant Contact, HubSpot, and then MailChimp. So give those a shot. And of course, don't forget mobile. People search for answers whenever they have an I want to know, go, do, or buy moment. So it's not surprising that more than half of web traffic now comes from those smartphones and tablets. Mobile optimization comes down to a few basics. More and more websites are being built from the start with technology that automatically optimizes website formats to best fit the device it's being viewed on. Make sure that you're grabbing your phone and searching on your website to see how it shows up. If you need to pinch and zoom to see things on your site, it's not mobile optimized. And I'm actually going to give you a quick test that you can check out in one moment to make sure that your website looks good. Again, 6 traffic devices. And so you're losing out on that traffic because Google won't show you in mobile search results if your website isn't properly optimized, or what we call responsive in its design. Responsive web design adjusts the site's appearance to best present the information based on the size of the screen and the type of device. First, in order to be mobile friendly, make navigation easy and intuitive. For example, website visitors expect that clicking the logo will return them to the home page. Another tip, keep your navigation menu short. On a desktop version of a website, if you have a huge 15-inch screen, visitors usually don't have trouble using drop-down menus and sub-navigations. But compare that to someone trying to navigate a site on a 4-inch screen with their thumb. It's a lot more difficult. That's why mobile optimized sites use relatively simple navigation and large, easy to click buttons and links. And now, really think about your homepage. Chances are that's the first page on a mobile design that a visitor will see. What critical information does a visitor need? Phone number? Probably. Address? Almost certainly. Make sure that information is front and center. And also include a site search. Mobile users are often in a hurry, and site search can help them find what they want fast. It should be easy to find and easy to use, and that returns the strongest results first. If possible, include features like autocomplete and filters. If you're serious about your website, and you need to be optimized for all of these things, I would strongly encourage a tool called WordPress to generate your websites. If you just have simple needs and just need to get a website up and going and want it to be optimized with general content, the Google My Business free business tool is a wonderful website. But if you need to optimize and connect and do a lot of fancy stuff inside of your marketing, WordPress is my recommendation. Okay, I promised I would share with you how to check your website's speed, and to go to testmysite.thinkwithgoogle.com to do that website speed test. The website speed test will tell you how well optimized your website is for mobile devices, but also how long it's going to take both in desktop and mobile, and your estimated visitor loss. Now, research suggests that 3 seconds is about the sweet spot for the longest people are willing to wait on a mobile device over a 3G network. The average website can take up to 19 seconds to download, and so you want to make sure that your website is as quick as possible. In this example for Stasia's Bakery, it took 4 seconds to load, which is good, but the estimated visitor loss is 10% because for each additional second over 3 seconds, we estimate that you lose an additional 10% of visitor traffic. That's people going to your site, getting frustrated with how long it takes to load, and simply clicking somewhere else. And then again, in order to reach more customers, my name is Ye out of East Grand Forks, Minnesota, said through generating a following on social media and traffic on my blog, I'm able to make a living. So Google has helped Molly grow her blog from something only a mom and a mom-in-law were reading into an income-generating and award-winning destination. She used Google Analytics to provide valuable insights on her audience and web traffic, and her social media channels, including YouTube, bring her experiences, recipes, and personality home to over 300,000 followers. Gmail lets her communicate with fellow bloggers, advertisers, sponsors, and other business contacts, and Google Ads enable her to sell ad space on her site as an additional source of revenue. Which brings us to reaching customers online with Google advertising. Google Ads is the newly branded tool. You may have heard of Google AdWords or AdSense. Google Ads is the new tool that's merged all of those tools together in one easier to use package. Let's review the search engine results page again. Ads can appear at the top and the bottom of the page, above and below organic search results. Again, those organic search results are the ones that you optimize for because those are the ones that don't show or that show up without you having to pay for them. The images at the top are shopping ads promoting products sold by online retailers. Text ads can appear below. Ads are paid placements. Advertisers compete against each other, bidding in real-time auction for the opportunity to show their ads in the search results page. Let's think back on that example. We were looking for emergency haircut for the little girl. A local hair place could display an ad when we did the search. That's one reason online advertising is so effective. Ads are not randomly broadcast. They are shown to potential customers who are already looking for you. You can fine-tune your search by specific regions or areas, by specific times of day, and by specific types of people, including, of course, what they are physically searching for. It's important to note that advertisers are not charged when ads appear on the network. They only pay if searchers click on an ad. So if you publish an ad, you may see that you have 60,000 impressions or people that have seen your ad, but only 200 clicks. You only pay for those 200 clicks. Pay per click advertising. Ads can also appear on partner websites, collectively known as the Google Display Network. The Display Network includes millions of sites, including Google websites like Gmail and YouTube. The Display Network helps advertisers show ads after a Google search when people are consuming relevant content. Ads are displayed when it makes sense based on criteria like the content of the page and the demographic information of the person viewing. And the Display Network provides access to a wide range of customers and allows advertisers to showcase products and services at different points in their buyer's buying cycle. So, before advertising, it's really important to define your goals. It'll help you shape your strategy from the ads you write or design to the web page or phone number you send people to. If you don't have a goal, you have no way to measure whether or not your investment is helping your business. One great thing about advertising on Google, you can use cost per click bidding. That means you'll not pay to show an ad only if a person takes the next step and actually clicks to learn more. When you create your ad, think about how you can make yours stand out. Include compelling details and reasons for people to choose your ad over another business. Read other ads and try to make yours just a little better. Include a call to action, helping people understand what they should do next. And make sure that it goes to a specific landing page, not just to your homepage. Your advertising presence is all about capturing the intent at the time in need. For our haircut example, you want to go right to the scheduling link, not to the homepage and require them to click 3 places after that. Once you write a compelling ad, you take advantage of another feature of online advertising, controlling where those ads are displayed. For example, if you have a product that can ship anywhere in the US, you might advertise to the entire country. On the other hand, if a product is very heavy and you only offer local delivery, you might restrict the ads to the area where you're willing to travel to. I'll finish where we began with goals. Once you have the pieces put together to present a compelling ad targeting the audience you want to make sure that that ad is working. When advertising with Google, you have access to reports that show you how people interact with your ads. Connecting your advertising accounts to software like Google Analytics can help you see a more complete picture of the effectiveness of your advertising campaigns. You can learn much, much more at ads.google.com. To understand the strengths and weaknesses of your website, you need to understand what visitors did or did not do when they got there. This is called web analytics data, and Google offers a free analytics tool called Google Analytics. Analytics includes a huge suite of customizable reports that answers questions about the effectiveness of your site, including what people are reading and viewing, how much time they spend on your site, if it's an e-commerce site where people are abandoning their shopping carts or leaving. And if you advertise with Google, that data integrates into analytics reports so you can measure the effectiveness of your ad campaigns. You know how many people responded or clicked on that ad, but then you know where they went on your site after they clicked. To sum up, Google Analytics reports can help you make smart decisions about your site design, content, and functionality. You can go to marketingplatform.google.com for more. It used to be tough to get quality personal electronics repaired in Justin Johnson's hometown. There was a need for higher quality computer and cell phone repair, he said. With background information in programming, web development, and computer repair, Justin stepped up and opened Wise Guys Technologies in 2013. From laptops to video game consoles, if it's broken electronic, Wise Guys Technologies will fix it. Justin says, Google really allows us to reach people we wouldn't have been able to reach otherwise. When we saw AdWords, we saw our foot traffic basically double. With advertising driving 30% of sales, Wise Guys Technologies turns to Google Analytics to better understand their web traffic and to identify trends that they can capitalize on. So that wraps up the 3 things you can do to help market your business online: Google My Business, a search-friendly, mobile-friendly website, and advertising. Once you put these steps in motion, you might want to check out other tools Google offers to market your business online. I've highlighted a few of them throughout this workshop. To wrap up today, I want to cover again the 3 things that you should do right now to market your business online and show your products and services to those in those critical I want to know, go, do, and buy moments. First, or claim your free business listing at google.com/business. Follow through with the verification process, get that postcard and respond to it so that you can make updates to your information, respond to reviews, and offer up posts, images, and videos to make your listings stand out. Again, this is a completely free tool. Second, build or improve your website. There's a tool inside of the Google My Business tool set that you can use to create a free site, but use WordPress if you want to get very deep and informative with your website and if you have specific and or advanced needs. Make sure that your business has a search-friendly, mobile-friendly site. And third, try advertising on Google so that you can target offers to people at the moment that they're looking for them in the direction or the region that you want them to be in. Before using many of Google's products, you do need to set up a free Google account. This provides a single sign-in that lets you access all the connected Google products. For example, if you sign into Gmail, which is automatically a Google account, you don't need to sign again to access your calendar and docs. They're all connected. If you don't use Gmail, you can register any other email address at a Google account or as a Google account by visiting google.com/accounts. One word of caution on this Google account: if you're going to set up a Google My Business listing and assign it a Google account, make sure that that is an account that's going to stay with the business. That usually means that it's owned by the business owner. You don't want to have a summer intern or someone just visiting or breezing through set up that account, because when they go away, so does your access. You can set up a owner account and then offer or make other people managers of your Google information. And that way you can turn their information on or off. And that way also you're limited in managers cannot delete or remove individual pages or people. So you would be much safer to set up one master account under the business owner's name and then create managers. All right, I left a lot of resources and I'm actually going to leave you this screen for a few moments so that you can take a picture. If you do have specific things that you want more questions about, I will hang out here for a few moments, but hopefully this was helpful and informative for you. Again, remember, Google My Business is the tool that you want to use to set up your free business listing that shows up on Google Maps and on Google Search. Google Partners is where you will find helpful information and find great companies to help you grow your business. So you probably get calls from folks quite often that are guaranteeing search engine results. Just go to google.com/partners to find someone that's been vetted by Google as a professional worth working with. Google Accounts is where you set up your account. Again, make sure it's a business owner. Google Search Console is your tools to help you find more information about your business as far as how well optimized it is. Google Trends helps you lock into, you guessed it, trends that are showing up in Google search results. Mobile-friendly test at testmysite.thinkwithgoogle.com will show you how fast your website is and how well optimized it is for mobile devices. Google Ads at ads.google.com will help you target your traffic to exactly the right people at exactly the right time in exactly the right place. And finally, Google Analytics at marketingplatform.google.com is going to be a great way for you to grow your business by knowing what people are already doing on your site. Again, I am Dave Meyer. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. And if you do have specific questions, now is the time to answer or to ask me those questions, because I am here. But if not, you can send me a note at dave@busyweb.com. That's DAVE at B as in boy, IZZYWEB. That's Dave at busyweb.com. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this morning. Hope you had a fantastic morning as I did, and look forward to seeing you sometime in Sparta as I'm biking around the trails. Talk to you all very soon, and have a great morning.